whispering, a basket on the table by the open window, holding within it a motif of resistance, a sacred rumination of the feminine rolled into pieces of fabric, tall scrolls, half-stitched, pierced by golden tapestry needles, lying beside balls of dyed thread. The embroiderer listening to her grandmother speak softly, praying into the wind.
Sumud, standing in a bright wind demanding human rights, knowing I am haram. My life, a messy critique of unflappable homophobic globality, while ancestral voices whisper above wave-salted seas, reminding me of guilt for living, for leaving. The continuing on is what hurts. I have an angel on my shoulder, not subject to enforcement. My pride is a spirit in drag, wearing embroidered dress. A handmade thub by my grandmother's. She is free, she is queerness. Solidarity, strikes, sanctions, and protest. She is a combining into flesh and blood, a body burned alive by silence on fire. My wish to boycott stateless autoethnography. A transnational queer agenda plus symbolic nationalism equals the arithmetic of occupied sameness. Palestinian plus queer voice equals my identity's calculating a feminine cipher. Computing denouncement, a rejection of, not weaving into, the map of the homosexual sphere, I am lost.
Stitching columns and rows from the center out, she knows the secret to stitch and skip, pulling thread through fingers, measuring to length of arm, guiding the needle up and in, the longitude and latitude of Palestine, repeating, her hair waving in the wind behind her. Sacred shells from Gaza shine down to the ends ornate, her pattern ancient and futuristic. A prophecy existing in a bridge between time and its passing, each movement a vibration of surrender, an acceptance of what is, a rebellion, lining every stitch, holding together the heart of her people.
Tatreez, a feminine calligraphy, a political praxis, diaspora, a capturing of what was and the geography of what is, a chart of my spirit's exhalation and effigy unknown, a captivity, a never-ending wave crashing upon the stands of heteronormativity. My life is queer Tatreez, weaving together what is available, sometimes only breath, queerness, an elite West-centric label boxing me in, homo-nationalism, a presumption of knowing, a wave of polarized representation overloaded with, buckling under the heaviness of, shouting expletives against, not thanking for, Zionist presumptions threatening violence at my very inclusion into. My existence incites violence, a realization of anthropolitical entropy. This is the birthing of the radical ethno-queer, a movement dancing in the shadows, but not a shadow itself, no, more like fabulosity as ideology, the creation of a phenomenon in neon, the upside of light. Its shine and eternity of freedom in every kiss, ownership of or control over a womb, my womb, the epicenter of glitter. Bright colors exploding with every touch of hand to shout, to stain queerness, weaving into the ancient ways of women, DNA's inherent song, a slow humming, vibration in the background, underground, the underpinning of true liberation.
Unwinding with a pull of thread, she begins again. Another row and another, knowing one day she will dye her own thread, and the tapestry will be solely hers to create, to own, to complete. The half-finished rolls of fabric tower above the braided edges of her basket, rising as if to be the columns of an ancient tomb, bearers of yesterday's tomorrows. She smiles, thinking maybe they are perfect just the way they are. Every stitch essential to the pattern's story they are bringing together of many things. Then carefully, with her needle, she buries the tail of thread underneath the previous stitch, just as she has all along.
Today's news is old news. Cisgender settlers, imperial alliances, capitalist technocracy. Palestine outside of Palestine, not a diasporic mirror, but a spiral scrolling back and into a light polished by pressure, ready to push itself up through. Crooked cracks in the road, through bombed craters, ancient tunnels, and underground wells. A restive eruption, and erupting into being. Palestinian and lesbian, mother and dyke, activist and wife, poet and target being, Arab and queer is like having an intifada every day.